Why doesn't Hallmark want you to watch these delightful rom-coms? I'm going to share 10 Hallmark movies that are totally underrated. They are cute, they're romantic, they're funny, tender, well acted, and just really worth a watch. But when Countdown to Christmas rolls around, these movies are either airing when most of us are sleeping or just not getting any playtime at all. I'm Eric, and I have watched hundreds of Hallmark holiday movies to let you know which are great, which are average, and which ones you definitely want to skip. So fire up that hot cocoa because here we go. First up, and these are in no particular order, is Cross Country Christmas. This movie came out in 2020 and stars Rachael Leigh Cook and Grayson Holt. It basically follows the story of two people who knew each other way back in high school but fell out of contact. They end up on the same flight trying to get home for Christmas, and it gets detoured due to the weather and all sorts of shenanigans as they try to figure out the way to get home. Now, the thing I like about this is while it is kind of an opposite attract movie, it definitely takes a different approach to it. For one thing, Lena and Max, they weren't high school sweethearts or a couple or anything, so they're not struggling with 15-year-old drama. I love that. It gave this trope a fresh, new, fun feel to it. And while we're talking about Rachael Leigh Cook, let's add Rescuing Christmas to this list. It of course stars Cook, but it pairs her up with Sam Page, and it really does seem fitting that Sam Page is on an underrated list considering he is totally an underrated actor. This originally aired in 2023 Countdown to Christmas season, but it was only available on the Hallmark Now app, so a lot of people didn't get to see it originally. Then Hallmark realized they had this great movie, on their hands, and so they stuck it in the 2024 Christmas and July lineup, and still not a lot of people saw it. In this movie, Rachel's character Erin is disgruntled with the holidays and wishes away Christmas. It's fun seeing all of her family and friends think she is crazy when she talks about Christmas, and the only one who believes her is Sam, ironically played by Sam Page. And here's the thing, there's a fun little Easter egg in there, which Erin's talking to Sam, and she says how, people love Christmas so much that there's even a TV network that plays just holiday movies all the time. This is a cute, well-acted movie. Next up is a Paul Campbell gem that many fans forget even exists. Wonderland. Now, I have to be honest with you. Somehow, I had never seen this movie. I didn't hear much chatter about it until I said I was going to do this video, and one of our followers recommended it. And wow, where has this movie been my whole life? This 2013 movie stars Paul Campbell, and he's paired with The Way Home's Chyler Leigh. This is another enemies to lovers trope, with Sloane and Jake competing as window designers for the local department store. Of course, Jake is the carefree soul, while Sloane is the by-the-book rule flower, and they get forced to work together to design the holiday window displays. While, as you may expect, this movie delivers all the old-school Hallmark plot lines, but it's still a whole lot of fun. I'm surprised that Chyler Leigh didn't appear in more Hallmark movies after this one. And I've got to give a special shout out to her short hair in this movie. She is freaking adorable. As most of this channel's followers know, I'm usually not a fan of hers. I hate her character in The Way Home, so I was really not expecting to like her in this one. And I loved her. I don't understand why this movie isn't in heavy rotation over the holidays. It is just that good. While Window and Wonderland may get minimal playtime, Naughty or Nice from 2011, starring Hilary Burton as Chrissy Kringle, no relation by the way, gets none. The only way you can watch this one is by heading over to the Hallmark Plus app, but it is totally worth it. What is great about this movie is it's not a standard rom-com. Chrissy has a long-term boyfriend, and the movie focuses more on her journey of understanding other people's and their lives better after she stumbles upon Santa's Naughty or Nice book. It has the parents from Family Ties as Chrissy's parents, so for us Gen Xers, that is a whole lot of fun. In addition, Gabriel Tigerman is excellent as her sidekick in this one. And despite being 15 years old, this movie is fresh. And it's not your stereotypical Hallmark movie at all, but it still delivers all the holiday feels we want. The only downside of Naughty or Nice is it reminds me of Hillary's falling out with Hallmark, and we just don't get to see her on the channel anymore. All right, this one is going to shock you that it is even considered underrated, and that's Holiday Hotline. It came out in 2023, a year that was jam-packed with great movies, and that may explain why this great movie gets totally overlooked by being in the shadows of A Biltmore Christmas and Around and Round. It stars Now Matter and Emily Tennant and centers around a dad who calls a turkey hotline in an attempt to make a turkey for his daughter. And that just in itself is really funny and cute. And of course, over the courses of his telecooking lessons, Jack falls in love with his teacher, but he also falls in love with her in real life because it's the same person, Emily Tennant. As I said, I'm still confused why this movie is so underappreciated. It's good. It is a wonderful spin by legendary Hallmark writer Julie Sherman Wolfe on the old You Got Mail plot. And then Mark Jean, who's the director, he does all sorts of cool stylistic things in there that makes it just fun to watch. Another 2023 movie that was sneakily brilliant is Sealed with a List, featuring Katie Findlay and Evan Roderick. Both are among Hallmark's best young talents, seemingly incapable of making a bad movie. Emily Ting wrote this charming twist on the enemies to lover trope, which seems to be a lot of the movies in this list. And that is a really hard trope to do successfully, as it requires patience and a plausible relationship arc. Too often characters that are in one scene just despising each other somehow confess their love in the next one, but not in Sealed with a List, which gives us a master class of this trope as why it helps Carly complete her list of forgotten New Year's resolution. It is fun, well written, and superbly acted. With no apparent flaws, I don't know why Sealed with a List gets a coal in its stocking. How can a movie that opens up with Amy Ackers belting out the waitresses rapping Christmas be underrated? I don't know, but somehow Crashing Through the Snow is totally underrated. This 2021 movie has everything going for it except love from Hallmark. First up, Tamar Laddie, who wrote Round and Round, wrote this one, so you know it's well written. Secondly, Warren Christie is Sam, the love interest, and Warren plays the world traveler, Peter Pan complex guy with a similar role that he played in the classic The Most Wonderful Time of Year. Warren is basically the OG Tyler Hynes. You also have Brooke Nevin as the new fiancée who's trying to win over Amy's character's kids. But the beauty of this movie is she does it with kindness and sincerity, and there's no evil stepmother. This movie explores the complexities of a blended family in a sweet and caring way, and it's just a whole lot of fun. Plus, as usual, Warren brings all the heat and chemistry with a quirky Amy. Hallmark should make us stay up late to catch Crashing Through the Snow in the middle of the night. It should air all the time in prime time. Total change of pace now. Now we're going to tear at your heartstrings with A Christmas with Holly. This 2012 movie stars Eloise Mumford and Sean Ferris. It is about a brother who gains custody of his niece, Holly, after his sister unexpectedly passes away. Holly is so traumatized by the loss of her mother that she stops speaking. Eloise's character, Maggie, opens a toy store and is dealing with being stood up at the altar. This sweet, tender story will hit you with all the emotions unless you're totally heartless. It definitely deserves a couple of plays during the holiday season, really just to remind us what this season means. All right, we cannot have this sort of list and not have Christopher Palaha on it, can we? No, we cannot. Well, this one may surprise you a bit. I'm not saying it's his best by any means, but Double Holiday is a really cute movie. Once again, we have the enemies to lovers story with Pahala's Chris, but this Chris is spelled with a C, not a K. So he's really stretching himself. He works with Rebecca, played by Carly Pope, and the two of them, they're up for the same promotion, but also tasked with coordinating the company's holiday party together. Part of what makes this one work is Pahala's raw talent. It also introduces us, as the name implies, to some Hanukkah feels along with the Christmas ones. By no means, though, is this a Hanukkah movie. It is nothing more than a nod. But for a Bill Abbott movie, it at least acknowledges the holiday, so that in itself is a win. At the end of the day, it is just a cute movie with some really good chemistry, with a little bit of a different spin on a common trope. I cannot leave you without a little controversy, can I? I think this pick may rile up a few of you, and it is On the 12th Day of Christmas. This COVID classic stars Mallory, Jansen, and Tyler Hynes. Right now, many of you are thinking, I lost my mind. But hear me out. Mallory Jansen is completely fantastic in this movie. She brings all of her beauty and her grace, creating a character we are literally just cheering for. And just like Double Holiday, she is up against her co-worker, Aiden, played by Taylor Hynes, and they're both going for the same promotion. I am going to get in a little bit more trouble here, but I am here to only give you the truth and the facts, disguised as my opinion, of course. This movie has Tyler before he was Tyler. He was just cool in this movie, not as too cool for school present day self. I know you don't want to hear this, Hynesies, but it is the truth. The two of them are just incredibly beautiful leads, taking us on a literal and emotional scavenger hunt as this fun movie unwinds. And the chemistry and heat are muy caliente. This movie often gets dismissed way too easily, and usually by people who haven't seen it in a while. So give it a watch and you will see what I mean. There you have it, 10 of the most underrated Hallmark holiday movies that are out there. And there are many more that could have made this list. But what about you? What Hallmark holiday movie do you think is underrated and doesn't get all the kudos that it deserves? Let me know in the comments. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do a follow-up video where I'll take all of your picks and make another video. Andrea and I will be reviewing Merry Christmas Ted Cooper next, so make sure you hit that subscribe so you can get notified when our new reviews are released. I'm also talking to Mistletoe Murders star Sarah Drew, so you will definitely not want to miss that interview. She is awesome. Until next time, happy holidays. This podcast was created by fans for fans and is not affiliated with or sponsored by Hallmark or the Hallmark Channel.